fucking despise each other.
Yeah, I know.
Because as a kid, you want
hang
to
on.
end it early.
Don't say this because he's about to start recording.
Oh, okay. We'll start. Are people live streaming?
No.
Okay. All right. Good.
What's up, everybody? Hey, this is Date Fails. I'm at All Things Comedy. I'm Kate Quigley. I got my co-host and new roommate, Erik Myers. Say what's up, Erik.
Hello, everyone.
Erik is living with me now, which is very exciting.
That's true. I'm on futon in Kate's kitchen.
He's living in my kitchen.
I live in Kate's kitchen.
I don't even want to wait to introduce our guest. Usually we bullshit.
I'm more upset that you've got a futon in your kitchen. the fact that someone's living there is, I'm fine with that. It's a crowded planet, right?
sad.
But the fact that you already had a futon.
No, we bought the futon for him
at Target, and then we put it together, and then we bought. I have a little desk and a little futon.
Wait, can we?
Where's the fridge? How big's this fucking kitchen?
It's huge.
It's a Eden. It's got an Eden kitchen, kind of like dining room area, and he wanted to move in. It's a 1-bedroom apartment. So
I'm tiny, Jim. I don't need a lot of room.
And I don't use
yeah.
the kitchen.
Yeah.
You don't cook?
Well, I cook coffee, but that's about it.
That fridge has never even been opened. It's still got the plastic.
You know what's in my fridge right now? A bottle of tequila and salsa.
That's what's his name? Who's that fucking comic that everyone loves? Dyed hair. Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does that one about when they go, this is a 2-bedroom house. He goes, I own the house. Isn't for me to decide?
Should I decide how many bedrooms?
Yes. This bedroom has an oven.
Has an oven in it.
It's true. It's true. I don't keep. I actually
This
keep.
bedroom
shit.
is ascending upwards.
Yeah, it's fine. You can sleep wherever the fuck you want. I'm happy to have him. It's
I'm happy to be-
fantastic.
Well, this is a new thing, though, isn't it?
He moved in 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Of course, of
Yeah.
course you're happy now.
Next week we'll be at each other's throats.
Yeah, of
It's
course.
gonna be fine.
We're both out a lot though.
We're out a lot.
I mean, it's not like we're constantly around. Like you're busy.
I mean,
out.
it's gonna be fun. First of all,
Walking
can we
around.
just introduce Jim since he's here?
I'm
We have-
sorry.
Oh, I don't care either way.
I think that people know who you are, but thank you so
I'm
much. I'm
famous.
happy to have you. He's famous. We decided before the show started.
I'm a famous person.
He's played Carnegie Hall.
I'm a
Yes.
huge fan, by the way.
Oh,
I
thank
think
you.
you're a brilliant comic.
We all-
And I'm
yeah.
very excited to meet you.
You haven't met before?
We have met.
I've met him, but like have you on the show. I meant. Sorry.
Like, sober.
Eric's nervous. I think he's nervous.
I'm nervous.
He's so excited
I'm
to have you.
nervous.
He
here.
should be nervous. His life's going nowhere. He's sleeping in a kitchen.
Yeah.
You think shit's going to start turning around for Eric pretty quick.
I'm nervous and suicidal.
He's sleeping in a kitchen, and by the way, he's supposed to have bought a room divider by now so that I can't walk in on
That's
him.
just more shit. A room
needs
divider.
it.
$100.
Well, I don't
want
wanna-
fucking thing.
I don't want to walk in on you like jerking off in my kitchen.
Well, that's too bad. Then buy the room divider because I don't have any money, Kate.
Yeah, a room divider. It's just taking up more space. Just put up a chart, get a bit of cardboard, and say, I'll be jerking off between these hours. And that's when you can come in and come out.
There's no charge. Yeah, we need
You
a sign.
just said you're both out of it. Just jerk out when she's not home.
I try. She's always running around.
Yeah, I
She's
come in.
she's out.
I'll text you. I'll text you when I'm on the way. And if you're
I jerk off in my own house in a tentative, like, because I've got a child.
yeah.
And that's like weird when you own a property and you're like, all right, okay, I've got some time alone.
Yeah. How do you do that when you?
He goes to sleep about 9,
Oh, okay.
and then he
Yeah.
goes to school about 9 as well.
Yeah.
And the girlfriend takes him to school.
Okay.
And then I have like a nice hour there before 9 to 10 a.m.
9 to 10 is the jerk hour.
Is the jerk.
that's the jerk
Pretty
time.
much every day I do that. And then I might slip one out after everyone else has gone to bed and I'm just laying on the sofa. There's
Right.
Sure.
But 9 to 10 is the bedroom wank, and there's a midnight till 1 living room wank.
Can I ask a question that I've always wondered? Because when I get depressed, and which is often, a lot of times, I'll masturbate for hours, like just to like cheer
Oh,
myself up.
hotel rooms.
Do guys do that? Like, will you masturbate for hours or like come a few times?
Hotel rooms 6-7 times if I'm feeling like it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, if I'm in a hotel, God help those sheets.
Yeah.
Really?
Those towels.
Yeah,
can
because
walk by
you're about to
themselves.
do a gig and you'd say you just sit there and you
Yeah.
got the day off and you
Yeah.
wank and then you answer a few emails and you have another wank. And
Oh, I was wondering that this morning. I was thinking to myself, like, I wonder if guys just come once and then they just hop up and they're like ready for the day. Where me, it's like, it takes me until the one where I'm finally like, all right, that was good enough.
with
I get, like,
with
horny in
actual
hotel
sex,
rooms.
with actual sex, I can only come like 3 times a day. Like with actual sex, actually ejaculate. But with wanking, I can do 6, 7.
Huh.
Wow.
But then towards the end, it's just a little.
It's like a dry
Like
heave.
it's not. Well, a little bit comes out, but it's nothing. It's just a depressing
Yeah.
When I hit after
quarter.
after 30, it was like after twice, it's just sad.
Oh,
The
no,
last
no,
one's
no,
like
no.
it's like a teardrop.
Look,
must be
no
healthy,
one's
right?
impressed by this, but I get some distance on my cum. Like
Really?
crazy.
No
I'm
way.
impressed.
Crazy distance on my cum. I'm not.
Prove
no,
it.
There's
Hit me in the face.
there's no woman who's like, oh, that's but I hit myself in the head. Are
you serious?
Yeah, no, completely serious. Completely serious.
Did you knock
I
yourself
go-
out?
Yeah, and if I've left it for a few days, but like bed heads are just stained when I.
No.
I'm not kidding you.
Are you?
Any girl that's had sex with me is willing to.
I'm, like,
if they're
picturing
willing
it.
to write. No, I make
They
a
wear a
lot
helmet.
of. Like it doesn't add to the experience for anybody,
That is kind of cool, though.
but I can lob.
Do you ever target shoot? Like put targets up?
I think it's a lot cooler than just a sad little.
I
like,
kinda
dribble.
do
Yeah, but the
too.
thing is
Like
that
a-
that's the first two are like, pew, pew, right?
Right.
And then the last four are just
Wait, how
different.
far are we talking? Like feet?
can
like,
imagine.
I could at my peak.
like seriously?
No, I could get it. I could do easy the distance of this table.
Fuck
Easy.
no.
like
Are you
6 feet.
serious?
I can
God
ser-
damn.
I'm not. I don't. As I said, it doesn't add to anything.
I'm like impressed.
I kind of am. Have you ever gotten it in your own eye?
I've got it in my mouth several times.
Are you? You know what? I'm
Several
glad.
times because when
I'm
you're
glad.
coming, you go and then like bang in my mouth.
And what do you think when you get it in your mouth?
I'm fine with it. It's
How does it taste?
It doesn't taste of much really. It's
Yeah.
a pretty nothing
That
tasting.
means you're a healthy guy.
Yes. I've had periods in my life where it hasn't smelt as good as other times, but for the most part,
You can smell it.
you know when you've just come on your stomach and it's just sort of sitting
I've
there.
never
for,
really smelled
You don't know the
it.
smell of semen. There's a smell. You've never been into like a booth in like a sex shop in the
Yeah.
fucking late '90s where you have a wank through a video.
I don't think I've ever honestly been like, that
No,
smells like cum.
It doesn't smell like the second it comes out, but when it sits there for
Dry cum.
If you go in a room where somebody jerks off a lot, it definitely
you
has a
can,
distinct smell.
yeah, there's definitely a smell.
Yeah.
Or if you fucking
so
if
stay
you,
out of the
It
kitchen.
smells like me.
If you're,
Whatever I smell
you're
like
in a
is what it
strip
smells
club
like.
and someone reaches in and gives you a hand job or something like that,
Yeah.
and there's a bit of cum in you've come in your pants, your underwear has an odor to it when
I
you
mean,
take
I
it
know
off.
what mine smells. I guess I never really paid that much attention to I haven't been around that much dry men's cum. I
It's
don't
not even
think.
dry. It's just
Well, it's only been
Cold.
2 days. Give me a
Eric.
week.
I know my dining
kicks
room's
it all
gonna
reek.
have that smell.
yeah.
You'll be able to sell that house.
Oh my god. Oh, what a
Like, did someone
fascinating.
live in this kitchen?
Jim Jefferies, by the way, everyone. I never did introduce. I am in love with your latest special. I actually watched it twice, which I never do. It's so
Thank you.
funny. You're welcome. Super
Yes,
duper
yes.
funny.
It I think it did okay. I don't know. It's Netflix, so you never get
Do you
ratings.
read the reviews on there at all?
Oh no, you'd have to go into your laptop to do that. So I haven't read any of those. Not
Oh,
one.
you do?
Not
oh, I
one.
didn't know that.
I only watch Netflix on my TV. I'd probably be tempted if I turned it on my laptop and have a scroll. But
What was your first special? Was it Alcoholocaust or what was it?
I swear to God,
I swear to God, Alcoholocaust Bear, and then
there was a fully functional for epics in between.
Oh, fully functional.
The bear, and then freedom.
that's a lot. So you have
That's in 7 years.
so in 7 years you have five.
Five.
Is that 5 1-hour specials? Jesus,
It's crazy.
I've been doing the same 45
Wow.
minutes for 15
Stop.
years.
That's not completely accurate because the last two specials were over 90 minutes each. So it's,
Yeah, I noticed
Wow.
that actually. I didn't notice the first time I watched it, and then I actually.
no, it's like
rewatched it.
86 minutes or something.
Oh wow! Oh wow! That's
Yeah.
awesome, man.
Well, we cut it down. I always look at it like this. There's always like a batch of jokes that if you don't record them, then you'll never record them. You know, so I that's what the great thing about Netflix is. Well, who says when it has to end?
Yeah, you can do it as
Yeah.
long as you want.
Yeah, like Netflix tell you, they go, oh, maybe you should do it a bit shorter, and you're like, because they don't want people dropping in and out of their programs. They want people watching till the end.
Yeah.
What's your process? Okay, so you just recorded your hour special
Yeah.
last Friday. So next week, are you like, I pull out the fucking, I'm starting from scratch?
What I do is I
Do you have a theme in mind?
I always have like 40, 50 minutes of stuff ready to go after the special's recorded that's brand new. Then
Okay,
out
that
of the
makes sense.
special, you always edit out about 10 minutes. So there you go. Now you got another hour.
Yeah.
And then I've got a batch of jokes that are pretty gross that are like 30 minutes worth of jokes that I just so fucked that I'll never.
You're saving for like the
I'll
dirtiest.
I'll just never record them. And so what I do is I bring them out after every special. I bring them back. And
That's
then I get rid of them.
hilarious.
And then I bring it back. So I got this little batch of jokes that I always
Have you ever thought about doing just like a disgusting special where you just do all that?
I've done a lot of. There's a lot of shows that people have tried over the years where it's like, okay, this is the edgiest guys. And even like around LA, they'll go, this is the show. You got to come and do my show. You can say whatever you want. And you're like, well, that's my whole stuff already.
That's every show.
That's what I do already. Like, what are you doing that's so special? The ones I panic about is when I had to go on TV and I wasn't allowed to swear. When I used to do like late night shows stuff, I used to be like just sweating, and now I won't do it anymore. I won't do stand-up comedy on television anymore. Just do it in specials.
Did that really? Do you feel like? Because certain bits are written, like, did you feel like it totally threw off, like, the punchline? Because if you say fuck at a certain point, like...
No, I just... I don't have many routines that are 5 or 6 minutes long. Most of them are much longer than that. And so...
Yeah.
So for me, it was always, like, trying to piece together all my shitty one-liners, and it just didn't play well for me.
You just don't feel it.
Now, when you write material, are you like... When you sit down and write material, are you like, okay, here's what I think people want to hear from me? Or are you just like, here's what I think's funny? Or is it just kind of like whatever happens?
I do most of the. I come up with an idea in my head and then I write on stage. You know, my shows are normally about 2 hours, and so in that I'm only really ever performing like an hour and 10 or hour and 20 minutes of material. So the other 40 minutes is dicking around with stuff that you think might be new, bit of crowd work, whatever, or what happened with you that day. You know, talking about their town or what have you. So in that 40 minutes, I normally have like about 5 or 6 subjects that I think I want to talk about now. So my new tour at the moment is called the Unusual Punishment Tour, because the day that they rang me up and they said, what do you want to name the tour? And I was thinking about writing a joke about all the different amendments, and I'd gotten to No Cruel or Unusual Punishment. And I haven't written that joke yet.
Yeah.
So
That's hilarious.
that's what I was thinking. I'm still thinking about it, but the tour is named after a joke that hasn't been written.
That's so funny.
Almost how I have to write. I have a hard time sitting down and just writing, but I'll write premises and then I'll just start talking about them, and then I'll listen back and write on them. But for me, it's almost impossible to just sit down and just write without talking.
The only time I write is when I'm writing a sitcom.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I don't have a notebook or anything. I've never written anything down.
Yeah, this motherfucker, 2 hours a day, he's like at McDonald's, like writing.
Yeah, but that's how other people's process. They actually have like the pad and the pencil and the...
I'm jealous of it.
I have shitty handwriting. I hold a pencil like a fucking, like a gnarled up claw.
Do you...
where my hand hurts if I write with a pencil.
Do you find that I barely know how to write anymore because everything is texting and shit now?
When I write legit, and I'm running another sitcom at the moment, I have a friend of mine, and she works for me, and she can type as fast as I talk. And every single TV episode I've ever written, I've been laying on a sofa.
Yeah. Fantastic.
I'm like talking to a therapist. I'm laying on my back, and at the end, it's all written.
That's the way to do it.
I was a huge fan of Legit, and I know it got great ratings, and I'm like, what the fuck, FX? Why would you? And I'm friends with Forrest too.
It got.
I don't know if you want to talk about that.
It got cancelled for some of the wrong reasons. And,
I think it did.
But also, what happens with these studios is you need someone to champion it, and there was like one guy who sort of championed it, and there was another guy who hated it from the time it was pitched. And he moved up through and he wanted it out. And whether he admits, you know what I mean? And then the head of the network was not getting along with the guy who was directing the episodes. And so that was and so I was sort of stuck in the middle, like, fuck. And so it was rating okay, but it got moved to that shitty FXX network, which is the hardest thing in the world, because when it got moved to FXX, we were like, all right, we're on for another season. And the season 2 I thought was substantially better than season 1 of the show. But we had to go do interviews where people were like, so what is FXX? And I wanted to go, I don't fucking know. I think it's a stupid idea as well.
That's hilarious.
And then I go, well, it's younger, it's edgier, it's got the extra X factor. You know, like I'm trying to fucking sell their stupid idea. You know, like what? This is where they went wrong. They had FXM, which was FX movies. They had FX, which was just original programming.
Yeah.
And then they went FXX, which they sort of went. It's skews younger. It's something they had no real
There's too
plan.
many fucking channels now.
What else was
There's
on
a
FXX?
billion.
Was it Simpson?
The Simpsons and Sunny in Philadelphia and some kind called Chosen, the cartoon, and that was it.
And you're the only show.
At one stage, we were the only original bit of programming. The Simpsons hadn't even been bought.
Are you
we were the
serious?
only original bit of programming in over 3 months on the channel. The rest of it was like reruns of Mad About You, and I meant to.
Fantastic.
And the channel was up in the sports section, and then they're going, "You're not rating as good as you did last year," and I'm like, "I'm surprised."
Like, I
that
can't even
anyone's
find
watching
it.
it. And also 20%, and we were available in 20% less houses than we were, and it's like
Crazy.
And it's all your fault,
It's
right?
being
yeah,
set
and
up
so,
to fail.
so the guy who was directing, who created it, he goes on the "what the fuck, guys," and then they're like, "Oh, this guy's angry," and I'm trying to fucking get him with honey, like, "Hey, look, I think we got something great." The other guy's just swearing at him, and so it was really what it was it got buried. The critics loved it, like it
Yeah.
was fucking killing with the critics.
Yeah, it was a great show.
And now it's I saw the other day it's trending on Netflix. After it's doing well. It's one of it does better on Netflix
Maybe it'll
than
end up like-
all the other FX fucking sitcoms.
Maybe it'll end up like Arrested Development. And you'll do a Netflix season.
Well, I think
I think both seasons were great.
The problem is if we wait too long, the guy with muscular dystrophy should be dead.
Do you think it'll get brought back? Like revamped on Netflix?
I
or
had a
Hulu?
really great season 3. Because it ended on a sort of a cliffhanger. I had a really great
Yeah.
season 3 already mapped out. And I'd already written the first episode back. Like I just got before it was renewed because I thought I might as well get onto it, you know, just in case to save myself some work later. I've written an outline for a movie because I think that's the only way it can come back. I don't think it will ever come back for seasons, and that's also because Dan Bacadell and DJ Qualls are too busy with their own careers just to drop that and come back to a show that paid them less than what they're being paid. Like Dan Bacadell's on Network Star now, Life in Pieces, and DJ's off doing that show about Nazis winning or whatever, that Man on the Castle or something like that.
So funny. I took
yeah.
improv classes from Dan, like my freshman year of college, or
Are you
something
serious?
like that in Chicago. Yeah.
Oh my God.
At IO.
He's a funny guy. He's like a volcano that's ready to erupt, but when
Yeah.
it does erupt, it just goes. Bloop. You know what I mean?
Hilarious.
Like it's all tense and brilliant, but he's a very, very sweet man. And the strange thing about that show, and I've had other acting jobs or what have you, is the three of us, and not the rest of the cast as much, although everyone got along very well.
Yeah.
But the three of us became extraordinarily close.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of showed as well, but we did become like very. There was bits there that DJ was in the wheelchair for so long that you would do things like you'd help put his shoes on,
Yeah.
and then you go, oh, wait a minute, you're not disabled, because we were just sitting with this guy who was disabled the whole time, you know.
Oh
That's
my
so
goodness,
funny.
That's so funny.
And DJ would never stop you. He just put his foot out, and you.
He'd stay in character.
You get like you take it. What I mean is like there'd be a scene where you took his shoe off, right, and they go cut. Let's do it again, and
go
then
to put his
you'd
shoe
go
back
put it
on.
back on for him.
That's great.
And he just let you do
He
it.
just let you do it, and I do it like 4 or 5 times. I'm like, wait, put your own fucking shoes back on.
That's hilarious. It's method acting. You're just in character. It's fine.
Yeah, he's just lazy. He's just sitting there lazy.
It's hard for me to even ask him anything about dating and sex because all I want to talk to you about is your career. But I do want to ask you about dating and sex since that's
Sure.
what the show is about. So first of all, okay, first question is this. Like, you've never been married, you said.
I haven't been married, but I'm basically married now.
Have you been a serial monogamist, though? Or was there a time when you were, like, a bachelor for a long time?
I've always had girlfriends. I've had a lot of girlfriends. But living in Britain for a long time, there was 4 or 5 years. Out of the 10 years I lived in the UK, 4 or 5 of them I was single on and off, where I was having sex with a lot of people in Britain.
What is a lot of people?
Well, a young comic with a small cocaine habit. That's, I'm talking 40 a year, maybe.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm so jealous of people that hook up like that. Eric, how many people do you think you've banged this year?
This year?
Yeah.
Gosh, 2.
Me too. I'm like pathetic at
But
it.
I'm awful. I have no game.
Yeah, but then I'm in relationships and then nothing happens for, but there's been a few hundred people.
A few hundred?
Do you prefer being?
Yeah, I'm sounding really arrogant now, but that's
No, that's not. I think for guys, that's normal. I think for a comic, a good-looking comic, it's crazy with
Yeah, but
you
you're a
guys.
famous, good-looking comic, and
Yeah.
people.
I'm not surprised. That was, I became a comic in my early 20s, and I'm 39 now, so it's
How do you find dating in England different versus dating?
Well, see, this is the thing: is the British women more up for it than the American?
More
women.
up for hooking up, you mean?
Yeah.
I wondered that.
They are?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because sex
Should
here
I move
is-
to England?
Yes.
They're also heavy drinkers.
That's a good point.
Well, that helps me too.
I think that sex here is so much more like a risque. People, it's taboo in the
Well,
States.
there's a few people, but the stigma of a girl being a slut if she hooks up with too many people isn't the same stigma in Britain.
Oh, really?
Exactly. But also, I think that here it's like, it actually really pisses me off because I feel like here it's just, if you're an attractive woman, you can't hook up a lot. If you're a big girl, or if you were, imagine if I had like Down syndrome, I could fuck all the time.
No, that's not true.
I mean,
You don't think?
No,
People wouldn't
that
think
would be
you were a
frowned
slut?
upon.
Okay. Well, maybe Down syndrome.
You'd have the mind of a child. You know that you,
Right,
you just
okay.
you chose a disability where their minds aren't fully developed as
Okay,
well.
I take
like
back
if
Down
you said cerebral palsy where everything's consenting and good.
Cerebral palsy.
Yeah, but you go, if I was a simpleton.
Do you think that they don't hook up ever? The Down
No, the Down
people?
syndrome people, they still have an adult sex drive.
Yeah.
That's part of the problem.
But they hook up with other Down syndrome
They
people.
do,
There's
they
a
do.
show. I watched a show about it.
They do, and they
I like
also
that show. I've seen it.
they do hook up with other Down syndrome people, but they're not.
You're right. They're not. Okay, they might.
I
not.
once was doing a gig, and a guy kept heckling, and just you're shit, you're rubbish. I'm sure you know where this is going because what we just talked about. But I put him down. This guy was relentless, and then I'm like, all right, just can someone get this fucker out, like kick him out,
Yeah.
and then security just. And I'm like, what the fuck is... Okay, turn the lights on. Will we not see who this is?
Oh, no.
And, I'm like- and it's just a Down syndrome guy just in the middle of the theatre going,
Oh no.
you're shit! And he's obviously got a friend with him who's making him do it, you know what I mean?
No. What
Oh
did
my
you
God.
do?
And the audience didn't know. Most of the audience didn't know either. It's like a 2,000-seat theatre. And so everyone's turned and he stood up. And now they've lost confidence in me. I've lost... and,
You don't know what to say.
and,
at that point.
then I'm like,
You're stuck.
hey, fella, look, I'm glad you're having a good time. Just if you can, just keep it on the inside and you're shit. And I'm like, I guess I am. Okay. All right.
Fuck.
Thanks, everyone.
Oh my God, that poor guy.
That poor guy, that poor me.
He should have kicked his
Poor
friend
kid.
out.
Well, I'm only saying that it's probably a friend who was like maybe he adamantly did think I was shit and he had very exact opinions, but
His friend was probably egging him
I'm
on.
sure.
yeah, like there was no one shutting him up. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Well, the security should still maybe be like nicely kind of a.
What do you do? What are you going to drag him out?
You
I get-
can't.
yeah,
You
I-
can't.
yeah.
Nicely ask him to be quiet, though. You could
I
probably
do. I
that.
do. I get a lot of times
Well,
where
I don't know what to do in that
where the
situation.
deaf come to see me,
Yeah.
and there's always charities that pay for sign language people, and they're the worst. Because then there's always like it's always like a frumpy sort of girl who once dated a deaf guy who's kept up the talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Is she on stage with you? Do I
No,
sound like-
she's just always standing at the edge of the stage. It's always off to the left for whatever reason.
Right.
They're standing at the edge of the stage, and they all sit. And I always think to myself, like, what if her timing's rubbish?
I was wondering that too because I've done shows where they're there, and the laugh for the deaf people is always just slightly delayed.
Well, of course, because
I know.
because the translation's
I know,
delayed.
but I'm
Yes,
just
that's.
saying, it's weird because.
Oh, no, it's because they're stupid.
No, but I'm saying.
It's because
They don't
deaf,
appreciate my genius. Is the problem.
I'm so fucked after this. I've now insulted deaf people and people with Down
no, the
I want
Down
nothing to do
syndrome one
with
was really bad. like the fact that you said, oh, those Down syndromes can sleep
No.
with whoever they want. And they're never called sluts. Oh, yeah, some people get all the fucking breaks, eh?
I'm sick of them fucking everybody.
I didn't want to say fat people because it's like. I
Well, the
don't wanna
Down
insult the
syndrome,
fat-
they always do carry a bit more weight, don't they?
Okay, why don't
You
we,
ne-
why don't
you
we just
ne-
let this?
you
Why
never-
don't we just change this?
You
subject?
never see a svelte Down syndrome.
That's not what I meant. I meant if I was a fat girl, I could fuck everyone, but I didn't want to say that. 'cause
So
I
you said Down
didn't want to
syndrome
insinuate
instead.
that I'm not fat, so I wanted to insinuate
You're
that
not-
I
you're not-
could have Down syndrome.
You're not fat enough to be a slut, is what you're saying.
Yes.
All right, okay.
I wish I was.
I'm offended on every level as a human being.
And so I didn't want to say fat, so I said Down syndrome.
Well, I was trying to think of someone who could have.
Who else can we offend on this podcast?
Dwarfs. Say dwarfs. Dwarfs is a good one.
Well, actually, I'm friends with some dwarfs. So
I'm friends with some dwarfs. Brad Williams can... Look, we all know Brad.
You're right. If you're a
Brad
dwarf
Williams
girl,
can sleep around all he wants and everyone's just fucking low-fiving the guy.
But see, he's a guy. Guys can do it anyway. Guys can fuck as much as they want, and no one. We're just proud of it.
Yeah, but...
I feel like there's a stigma too.
There's still
No,
a
there's
stigma.
not.
There's still a stigma. I get when you get not from the general public. When you get into relationships, there's a stigma.
What do you mean?
Because when the girl starts to, so you've done A, B, C, and D, and then it always comes back to haunt you. That
Do
you
they
slept with a
ask?
lot.
Because
About
I
your past?
never ask. I don't want to know. I don't want to know who.
No, but
was
they
in
can
it.
tell, and also I mention it on things like podcasts and
So, but it
and on
depends on the
stage
girl.
and.
Like your girl asked you how many.
No, you
girls-
just know. No, it's not about how many. It's just they know you've been a dirtbag.
Oh, but you know what's weird? I kind of like it. I like knowing the guy has been with tons of women because it makes me think he'll be really good in bed.
Yes, or just lazy and knows what he wants.
I guess that's the other.
That doesn't necessarily mean you're good in bed, though, if you've been with a lot
I
of
just
people.
feel like practice makes perfect.
No, being good in bed it all comes down to the pairing. There's nothing. It has nothing. Okay,
That's
there's
true.
people who are universally bad, right?
You're
They're
right.
just bad across the board. They could
Yeah.
fuck anyone and they're doing a terrible job.
Right.
But there's not people who are universally good.
Well, I think you're right because no matter how good your technique is, if there's no chemistry, it's not good.
Yes, and it's
gotta have the
also, but
chemistry.
it's also there's some girls who think that this last move worked on their ex-boyfriend and that he liked them to be whatever. If you're like a submissive girl, or you're like an aggressive girl, or
I see
you're
what
like
you
a
mean.
whatever, it's very particular. The good is very particular. The bad is exact across the board.
Maybe you're right. But do you feel like, I feel like for a guy to be good in bed, there's more skill required than for a woman to be good in bed.
There's skill required for women. I like a girl to be. She's got to be good at dirty talking. She's got to have a filthy mouth on her.
Yeah.
And if she doesn't have a filthy mouth on her, like, what am I doing? We're
Really?
relying on friction today, are we?
That's gonna be intimidating though, because you're, a professional comedian and you're kind of risque.
That's
so they're like,
why-
I gotta impress Jim,
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think it's intimidating for women to hook up with? Do you ever think about that?
I mean the dirty talk part, because he's a
Because
pro
he's
at
a
it.
professional
Yes, of
speaker.
course.
I don't mind a girl who slept
He's a
with a lot of
professional
guys.
dirty talker.
It doesn't
Yeah.
bother me in the slightest.
Really?
Does it bother you?
That's been with a lot of guys.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know the guys, it might make me uncomfortable.
Yeah,
if
I
around them.
don't like the girl who's been through 1,000 comedians.
If she's been with a lot of my friends, it makes me uncomfortable if I'm around them.
I agree with that. Have you hooked up?
Look, I don't. It doesn't. I wouldn't date the girl who's been with 1,000 comedians.
Have you dated any comedians? You don't have to name them, but have you
I've had sex with a few. I haven't
hooked up with a few?
hooked up. I've been doing this job for.
Of course, you're gonna
17
hook up with
years.
some.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like actually a fairly low number for the amount of years I've been doing the job. In America, I've only had sex with one female comedian, and in Britain, I've had sex with like 3 or 4. And I dated one, sort of dated one who wasn't a pro yet. And she's a pro now, but when I met her, she was an amateur comic.
Oh, got you. Yeah, I can't. I tried it with 2, and that was it for me. It just like taught me a lesson because it's.
Who are they? You can tell me.
I can't. I'm not
Really?
telling.
Like I love how you had this. You don't have to say anything.
It was Gallagher 1 and 2.
But that's
think you don't have to say who
it's
they
not
are.
it's not a two-way path.
It's not hard to figure out who they are. I mean, some people know about one, at least, but.
Crystalia.
Oh no. I didn't mean to say. Oh,
Good
like
guess.
that. Good guess.
Louis C.K.
No. It doesn't matter. It's somebody you would probably never guess because it
Is he
he's
big
not
time
that,
comic?
Not that hot. Yeah.
And he's not that good looking.
No.
Big time
But it
comic.
doesn't matter.
Big time comic is
It
not
doesn't
that
matter.
good. That narrows it down to almost all of us.
I was very young. No, you're way better looking. You're a good looking guy. Do you recognize that you're a good looking guy though, right? Like
No.
Really?
I had a woman the other day. I did a charity gig for cancer 2 days ago. 2 days ago at the Improv, I did Forrest, our friend Forrest who opens for me. His mother's got a cancer, myeloma, right?
Oh, yeah.
She's had it for many years, and so Forrest put on a charity gig, and then there was all these people with cancer and stuff, and a woman who I think had the disease or was planning on getting it. She came up to me after the gig and she goes, I knew, and this is before she asked for a photo. She goes, I knew you were not American the second you walked on stage because of your teeth.
Damn.
No way.
And my teeth aren't terrible.
Your teeth are fine.
They're fine. They're
Fine.
straight.
They're normal.
I've been a smoker throughout they're off color.
Who says this shit?
What a cruel thing to
Who
say.
says
She said, and then she wanted a photo, and I'm like,
Your teeth are fine.
yeah, I thought so as
And then
well.
she wanted a photo?
And can I have a photo? And I'm like,
should have said, yeah,
"Fuck,
my
you got cancer because you're a horrible person.
Oh my god.
If there is a God, he cancered you up, you fucking nasty
Maybe she was
bitch.
negging you. Maybe she was kind of into you, and that was her way of. That's a fucked up. Who says that shit?
Some people just have
hate
no
people.
tact.
No. She didn't mean it in a mean way.
No, but they don't realize they're being insulting.
She was trying to say, you look foreign.
Yeah, well that's crazy.
Also, that's not even an Australian stereotype. It's a British one. But
Right,
either way.
Right.
Yeah, but whatever. Your teeth are perfectly fine. You are.
Oh.
I would say in the comic community, you're one of the more good-looking male comedians.
And that's the sad thing about. See, this is the whole
People
thing.
say that about me too, though.
No. The female comedy community is extraordinarily good looking. In comparison
That's
to,
true. There's
in
a lot of-
comparison
Right
to the
now.
so male comics take up 90% of all comedians. That's just a ballpark. Maybe 80%. Let's say 80%.
Sure.
Right? So 20% of the population is female. And out of the 20% that are female, there are I can name you 20 girls who are above average to hot.
Yeah.
Right?
There are a lot of good-looking comics right now.
Name me 20 men that are above average to hot, and we outnumber you 4-1 in the community.
20. I can think of around 20.
All right, let's do it simple. Let's give it 10.
Okay, I'll name 10. You, Theo.
Yep, I'm not getting to
You're
the 10.
good looking. You're
Yeah.
getting. He's in the 10. I wouldn't.
I'm
bullshit you.
not the equivalent of you in male form. I don't
Yes, you
compete.
are.
Oh, get fucked. Fuck off.
Don't you think he is?
Yes,
See, but see, here's
your
what I
whole
forget.
stick is dressing up in a bikini. Have you seen me shirtless? I'm a pale fucking guy.
So we're going strictly on looks 100%, because that's hard to
We're not
do.
doing personality
Yeah,
as
it's
well.
hard not to-
Strictly on looks.
It's hard not to like. It's hard
Yes,
not. To,
so we're doing strict. So I said, have you seen my body? And then you go, oh, I didn't know we were doing looks.
no, but I'm
I
saying.
thought we were doing the whole. I thought we were adding your bank balance into the account, Jim. That makes you so
No,
good looking
like-
that you're a millionaire.
It's hard for women to only assess looks. Like, okay,
If I
was
walked
going
on
through
stage in a
catalog-
speedo, people would throw fruit at me and
Yeah.
me off the stage.
Okay, all right. I can
It
think
would
of a
be-
bunch.
if I walked on stage in a swimsuit, it would be a sex crime.
People would vomit. They'd be like, "Can I return the buffalo wings?"
I've
Can I
only
get-"
done that twice, by the way, just to clarify. It's not like a thing I do always.
Anyway,
I can think of a
10,
lot though.
10, come on.
Colin Kane, Theo.
Colin Kane is very good looking.
Colin is ridiculously
yeah, he's
handsome.
very good looking
Yeah.
and moody as well.
Yeah.
I like Colin. Me and Colin are friends. Fucking cheer
is
up,
moody.
buddy. You're doing well.
You want to hear something funny?
Lachlan Patterson.
Lachlan. Yeah, I think Jeselnik's pretty hot.
Yes, Jeselnik is hot.
Jeselnik is
Yes,
hot.
Jeselnik is hot.
Okay, so
they're all.
Theo.
Have you noticed the male hot,
Theo.
good-looking guys are all also the sarky? There's something about being good-looking when you're a male comic where you can get on stage and go, "What are all you people doing here?" Where us ugly people are like, "Hey, come on, we're gonna have a good time."
You guys like me, right?
It's the same as in bed. It's the same as in bed. The uglies like us are fucking just look. I'm trying.
I have to admit, I do like to hook up with guys that aren't that great looking because
your guy. I'm
they
your guy,
try
Quigley.
way harder in bed, and they're nicer to you. They hold doors. They pay for dates.
No.
Hot guys
so
don't do
hard.
that stuff.
I will go. I'm like.
I'm saying Eric has no money, and he's like taking girls out for steak dinners to impress them.
That's all I got. A sense of humor, and I'm like, "Do you want to go out to eat?"
Eric's like, "Can you buy my Slurpee? I'm broke, but I took this girl out last night to the steakhouse."
We had pizza at the Rainbow. It was $20.
Yeah,
The steakhouse.
that's nice.
Come
Hey,
on.
whatever you have to
Pizza.
do.
Good pizza though.
It's
Great,
good pizza.
the best.
All right, I'm trying to think of more. Hold on. I think Damon Wayans Jr. is really hot, but do you count him?
I do not.
All right. Fuck. Maybe I can't think of 10.
And the only reason I don't is because I'm a racist. He probably is good looking. I just can't see it. No.
He's hot.
I'm joking. I'm not a rate. That was. I
It's
thought
totally-
I thought I'd get a better laugh.
You know what? No. Since you
First the Down syndrome, now this.
Yeah.
I'm
we're
offended.
trying to offend everyone.
Yeah, you know who
It's
sleeps
fine.
around those black Down syndromes.
It's true.
Oh my God.
They're the biggest sluts.
So you've named really 3.
There are some that I think are hot, but their personality brings them down, like Dane Cook.
Dane Cook's not that good looking.
But yeah, he's hot.
Is he?
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying is like for women, it's hard not to bring personality into it some.
Is
So
he? Is he
comes down.
hot? Is he?
Yeah, he's hot. He has a great body.
I think.
Ahmed is hot.
I think he goes up and down.
I might have weird taste though, because I like if I sense danger, I'm turned on. So
No, Kate likes. Let me tell you about.
If I can smell a bit
Ahmed-
of chlamydia.
Can I tell
Not
Jim who you're
chlamydia,
dating?
no, I'm not. We're not dating.
Can I tell Jim who you're hooking up?
Are you
with?
talking about the porn guy?
Okay,
Are you dating a
Jim.
porn star?
We're not
listen,
dating.
Listen,
We're not dating.
He
It's
is
over.
the backup dick. If the main dick gets sick, Kate said he was
Okay,
the
hold
backup
on.
dick. They're supposed to hang out
Stop.
tonight, but if the other guy,
No, wait.
he's the backup
Eric,
dick.
here's
You're not
the-
even fucking the
Eric,
main dick.
He's not. Here's what happened. Okay, I was supposed.
He's the
to,
understudy.
Eric,
He's
He
the
must
understudy.
be making no money. Backup dick doesn't make money.
Listen, I don't know. Here's what happened. I was supposed to hang out with this porn guy, and he always tells me he's on.
And you met him at the AVNs or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
I
He-
got asked to host that like 3 times.
It's fun. You actually should do it once. It was fun. It was fun.
My career's not going
All right,
backwards.
fine.
Kate.
Good point.
Yeah.
So he, no, he just basically like he always blows me off with these bullshit excuses. Like he'll say he's on a soft hold, and I'll be like, "What does that mean?" He's like, "Well, I'm on hold to fill in for this other guy if something happens." And Eric is like, "So he's not even the real dick; he's the backup dick."
A
Yeah.
soft hole.
It should be called a hard hold.
I know that's what he
No
said.
one needs a soft hold.
Are there understudies in porn? Like I didn't know that was a thing. That you
Do you know the lines in case Big Dick McGee can't make it? He's stuck in traffic.
Have you ever dated any porn stars?
I've had sex with a few.
You have? Is it better than
Not-
sex?
It's not bad.
Are they actually, do you think they're because the guys are better
Yeah, they're better.
in my
Yeah,
experience?
the girls are pretty
The
good.
girls are pretty good too.
Yeah. How many porn guys have you fucked?
Too.
No, the girls.
He's like, it's nothing."
The girls are better. Do you want to know why they're better? Because they take direction.
That's hilarious. Do you
Right? Well, that's what they actually do.
they really literally?
Can we
take
do that scene
direction.
again? I didn't quite.
Have you ever had anyone film you?
There's sex tapes of me out there.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Can we find them?
This is the thing. I said that I was on Conan or Kimmel. I was on one of the two, and I said there's a girl. I do a joke about how there was a girl who once tried to extort me for money because she had a sex tape of mine, and I said, "Fucking try and sell it."
That's hilarious.
I said, my whole career, and she goes, "I got a photo of you doing cocaine," and I'm like, "Everyone does."
Yeah, I don't understand how that would hurt.
That's
or
my
help your
Facebook
career.
profile
That's
picture.
the great thing about being a renowned dirtbag in your stand-up is if anything comes out, you're
Who
like,
cares?
unless it's like you're fucking a kid or something bad, like the Down syndrome person, right?
Right.
Who cares?
That's kind of how I feel.
I'm not. I do illegal things like drugs and stuff, but for the most part, I'm not a bad person.
Right.
When I met you, like, you call yourself a dirtbag. When I met you in Miami and I was a new comic and I came up to you and I was like, I'm a really big fan. You were so, like, just nice. You were so nice to me. And I'll
Oh.
never forget it.
Yeah, you're definitely
and
not a
you were
dirtbag.
you were not a dirtbag at all. A dirtbag is someone who's like, okay, buddy. But I was just an annoying open micer running up to you and you were like, you talked to me for like 20 minutes. You were
Yeah.
such a nice guy.
Well, yeah.
Very
look,
down to
you
earth.
might have gotten me on a good day.
It is funny though, because like a sex tape of you, I don't even think it would cause a huge wave. I think
Well,
people-
I've got one of me and an ex-girlfriend from like when handy cam sex tape.
No
like,
way.
before
Who was
we
holding
ran,
it?
yeah.
Who was holding
No,
it?
no, no. It was
It's
like,
on
there's
beta.
footage of me mounting it. Like, all right, it's on.
It's floating out there. Can
Yeah.
it be found? I'm
God,
gonna
I
Google
gotta-
this tonight.
You've just reminded me of a routine I haven't done for
You got to do
years.
it.
You have a routine about it?
Yeah, I used to do fuck, that was a good bit. I used to do a routine about why porn was better was because of the editing. Because it always like it came on the girl's face and then there was a soft fade and then the credits roll up. and like my porn's always ended with me getting a towel,
Yeah.
apologizing,
Right.
and then walking up to the lens going, "What button? What button?"
Is it?
I would love to
That's how I
find
did.
that.
That's how they really ended. No, is the red light still on?
That's hilarious.
It blows the magic a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
That's gonna be like my new porn instead, because I can't watch porn anymore. It's like ruined for me. I know too many of the people now.
Right.
I can't get off on it. So maybe I'll start googling like comedian sex tapes and see what I can find. I'll bet there's a lot of them out there.
That's gotta be-
Wow. Anyway, so I was on Kimmel or Conan or something, and I talked about I talked about. I said, look, I got a sex tape out there. I got a few of them. I go, it seems like no one wants to watch them, because they've been like I was just talking about, and then someone got on the internet and was like, Mindy Kaling already said that about herself, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry for. And it wasn't even a routine;
God.
it was just me
Right.
talking.
Right. You can't say shit.
Yeah,
There's
you can't
always
say
someone.
shit. There's always and I'm like, oh yes, okay, right. So Mindy Kaling owns there's sex tapes of me out there that no one wants to see.
Yeah,
I
she
hate
owns
when
that.
people try to say you stole a joke. Like there's joke thieves, and then there's a premise that everybody does, like Bill Cosby or whatever. And it's like you know when someone stole something as a comic, or when you're just it's a similar fucking premise.
I've had routines where afterwards someone's gone, that's mine, and I've gone, fuck, because it's seeped in because it's someone I know that I've worked with so much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've said shit verbatim because I listened to an album like a year ago.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was writing
That's
and I was
happened to me
like,
too.
this punch is coming way too easy, and I say it, I'm like,
course.
Jesus, that's
Yeah,
from
and then
like,
someone pulls you up, and you know what I mean? But I've recorded like fucking
it's hard.
7 hours of material is
Yeah.
recorded, and people want to pull me up in 3-4 minutes, and you're just like, all right, fuck off.
It just
Yeah, I
seeps in, you
stole
can't
one
help it.
2-minute bit.
Yeah.
Right.
At 7 hours.
One time I
Yeah.
tweeted a joke, and a comic called me and was like, "Hey Kate, do you know that's a joke I've been doing for a really long time, and I've opened for him before." And it wasn't until the minute that he called me that I was like, "Oh my god, that's why." Because you just don't remember where it comes from. Sometimes you wake up in the morning with something in your head, and
But it's worse when it's like what happened with that Mindy Kaling thing, where you go, what? So I can't live a life now?
right, you can't even talk about your fucking life. Oh,
You
that's
stole
so crazy.
conversation.
I can't actually have this. And the thing is, I'll tell you what's funny. I did a story, just while we're on Kimmel, I did a story on me meeting Al Pacino at a private party. And I did a private party for a very famous American singer.
Okay,
Okay, I can tell you after who it was.
cool.
But anyway, so I did this private party, and I met Al Pacino and Warren Beatty were there, and Leonardo DiCaprio. It was a dinner party, so there's only like 20 people there. And so I did this story, and I told the story on Kimmel, and the opening to the story was, okay, so Al Pacino and Warren Beatty walk up to me, and they're really drunk, or they're just old. It's hard to tell at that age. You know what I mean? They could have been both. But
Right.
anyway, so that's how I was going to start the story. And then, you tell a producer and all that type of stuff, and then fucking I shop and they go, you can't say Al Pacino was drunk. And I'm like, why not?
Why?
And they go, well, he watches the show every day, and sometimes he rings Jimmy.
And he'd be offended if you said something?
No, like he might just be like, oh, that's the story.
Oh my
That guy
god,
said I was drunk.
that's actually hilarious.
He watches the show every day? That's gotta
Well, I think, but like, you forget that about people. They watch TV the same
Yeah.
as you do.
Of
Yeah.
course.
It's like my management company, Brillstein, manages Brad Pitt,
Yeah.
and Brad Pitt asked for a copy of my new special because he was in a country filming somewhere that didn't have Netflix, and he said, I want to see the new Jim Jefferies special. Can you send me a link?
Oh, that's cool.
And then they said, hey, Brad, next time in the office, they go, Brad Pitt's a fan. And then you think, wow, I wonder if he would watch that. Him and Angelina would be on the couch.
Right?
And then you think, no way. And then you think, well, of course, they watch
Why
fucking
not?
TV.
Just
Why
regular
wouldn't they?
people.
You
Yeah.
just imagine them in like some palace. Just
You put
in
them in like a
bath.
bubble.
Yeah, the person
Right.
there eating Pringles, just like us. Just that's funny.
I met Eddie Murphy, and he came up to me, and he goes, oh, I know you. Yeah, you do the TV show with the disabled boy.
yeah.
Right? That was the first thing he said. And I went, I do the TV with
yeah.
the He goes, oh, I love that show. You're masturbating off a little disabled boy on the Skype. It's a fantastic show. And I couldn't believe that he referenced episodes and stuff. And I'm like, why wouldn't he watch it?
Isn't that crazy? One time I was
That's
working.
true.
One time I was working on a movie when I first moved to LA. I was doing extra work, and it was a Tom Hanks movie. Tom Hanks came up to one of the extras sitting next to me and was like, hey man, you're so-and-so, some old jazz musician. He's doing extra work. Tom Hanks was like, I'm a huge fan. I have your record in my car. Would you sign it for me if I go get it? And he went and got it. But that guy in that moment was like, holy shit. Tom Hanks fucking knows me. I'm an extra in his movie. It was pretty cool. But yeah, it's the same thing.
Wait, they hired you to perform stand up at a dinner party, and there was only about 20 people there?
Yeah.
Was it intimidating because of the status of
It
the
was intimidating for many reasons, because of all the people, but also because it was in a garden. And I didn't have a microphone. I was
You
just sort of
didn't? You
standing
just
at
had
the end
to
of a
talk?
table. Just
How much time did you
chatting.
do?
I did like 30 minutes.
30 minutes?
20 people and you're just standing there talking with no mic.
Yeah, just chatting at the end
How
of the table.
awkward. It's almost.
Did you do material or you just
I did
talked-
material,
Yeah, yeah.
I was booked for the guy whose birthday it was.
so
Okay.
funny.
And he liked the gun control bit, and so I did.
Right.
I did material. At the end of it.
I mean,
I didn't know if you just like fucked with. They just wanted you to.
No.
mess with the
Pa-
crowd.
part of the deal was that I didn't do that.
Gotcha.
Was that don't come and just fucking tell
Oh.
everyone
Fuck with
that they-
people.
fuck with
Okay, I
people.
thought they
Because-
went-
And I agree with that to an extent because people didn't know that a comedian was showing up.
Okay.
So and they weren't going to a comedy club. There's people like
Yeah.
just coming out for dinner who are famous people who don't want you just
You don't
going,
wanna fuck with them."
you fucking
Yeah.
that film is shit. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So
yeah, for sure.
True.
you know, and like they
Yeah, that'd be a
They don't want
disaster.
to be roasted for no reason. They
No. I'm bummed because we're almost out of time.
just- why?
but
Why
I
do you
know.
have a time limit?
I have
you
a
got
ti- I have a ti-
45 minutes?
I have a time limit because I have Dom Irrera coming in to do another. I'm doing 2 episodes today. I'm doing.
Well, what is? Oh, I like Dom.
love Dom?
I bumped into Dom somewhere exotic the other day,
Exotic?
like a foreign country, and I'm trying to think where it was.
Was it Gelson's? Because I think that's the only place he goes when he leaves
No,
his house.
no. It may have been like.
Was it in Australia?
Oh, he might have been in
Because he was
Australia.
just there.
He was in Australia.
Yeah. That's so funny.
I thought I bumped into him somewhere more exciting than Australia. Like I was in Israel recently. I thought maybe I bumped into him in Israel, but it wasn't. It was just Australia. Oh no, it could have been an airport. Oh no.
That's
Oh, it might have been Britain. I was just in Britain. It might have been the UK.
Okay.
you bumped into Dom.
Yeah,
I love him.
I've known him.
You don't even know where you are, which is the best part. You're like, it could have been anywhere in the world.
This is a
It-
stupid question, but what's your favorite place you've traveled to?
Like to do comedy is one thing, but
I just mean just.
I
for fun.
like Western Europe.
Western Europe.
I think Western Europe is the human race at its best.
Awesome.
I think that's when we really culturally nailed things, and just beauty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just beauty everywhere, like beautiful. And I can't imagine how nice it was before the Second World War. like I mean, serious.
Yeah.
Before they just bombed the fuck out of it,
Yeah,
it must have been spectacular because it's
Yeah.
spectacular now,
it is.
and they 80% of it's fucked.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. I haven't been in. When was the last time I was in Europe? 5 years ago.
And I can go anywhere in Western Europe and have a, you know, I was in Belgium the other day doing a gig and like Belgium's always a boring place, but then they just put me in this little village to do a gig and I was fucking staying in a castle.
No way.
Yeah, it was like Boss, man. It was so good. So
Dude,
good.
I don't want to end. Well, you guys, Dom is here, so I don't want to leave him outside. You want to just keep talking for a few minutes?
You
I'll
can-
get Dom
you
and
can
bring him in. I'll bring him in.
Dom
All right.
Why does he have to sit in the hallway? He's not know your show good enough. that
He's
he
never
can
been
walk
here
in?
before. I got to go get him. You guys keep talking. I'll be back.
All right.
Sure. Okay.
Try not to fuck any Down syndrome on the way out.
Jeez. How much time do you have for your new special? How much time? How much comedy?
Well, I haven't to record a new special.
No. How much time have you like do you have? So like, do you have like 20 minutes of it like, that you're doing on stage, like prepared?
Oh no, it's a whole new 2 hours that I'm doing now.
But how much of it is like developed, like
Oh
polished?
no, that I could record 40 minutes now. I'm about 20 minutes away from being where I really want it to be.
Really? Man, that's so
But
awesome.
but the 20 minutes is a tricky bit because I need a really great set piece that I consider as good as the gun thing or whatever. It's got to be a 20-minute chunk, a poignant bit. You know, I've got 20 minutes more material. I've got enough material to fill out the time, but
Got it,
whether
okay.
it's I hope to have another special out by Christmas 2017.
Do they now? Does your management or whatever? Are they like, oh, we want you to have a? Is it important to have a special out every like year or two?
No,
or
I
is that
just
a personal
this
thing?
is a thing that I put on myself. I don't put like. In fact, at one stage after I recorded, I swear to God, I think it was HBO didn't. And my special did really well for them. They didn't take a meeting with me for me to pitch another special because I wanted to do one like 6 months later.
Yeah.
And they said, no, we're still airing your other one. And I said, but by the time I record it and we edit it, it'll be a year.
Yeah.
And so I
That's
I
true.
couldn't sell the second special, even though I couldn't sell the second special in America. So I went and recorded it on my own bat in London, and then I sold it just off to Showtime.
That's so interesting. So you have the unusual punishment title, but you don't have the bit yet.
Yeah.
I wonder, maybe that's going to be the big bit.
Well,
then.
yeah, but
That'll be the big
I
hit.
find like because I constantly get people writing to me about the Second Amendment, how
Well, they love the gun control bit, but this
the-
could be something similar.
the Constitution,
Yeah.
and so I started getting interested because I don't know any of the Australian Constitution.
Yeah.
We're not taught it. It's a thing. It exists, of course, and we're in a democracy, and everything seems to be going just fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't tell you the First Amendment in the Australian Constitution is A, B, C. I don't know. But I know the American one, but I only know the first two. And then so whenever someone comes and fights with me, I go, name 4 amendments. They can never normally name more than 3.
Yeah, I don't think most people know them. I
No.
don't even think I know them.
No.
Yeah.
Most people don't. And so then there's a few of them in there that are like, no excessive fines. That's in the Constitution. One of the amendments is no excessive fines. And you're like, well,
Who determines?
isn't that in the eye of the beholder? Because at the moment I got money, so a parking fine. I don't give a fuck. Give me
Yeah.
$60, whatever. But when I was poor, that was an excessive fine.
Yeah.
I was 5 minutes late.
It was unconstitutional.
It was unconstitutional when I was
It's
poor.
fine. It's unconstitutional. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. So no cruel or unusual punishment.
Mm-hmm.
You have the death penalty.
Yeah.
Whether you agree, I don't not agree with the death penalty in certain cases. I think like if you fucked 100 kids and you murdered them in your basement and whatever, you probably don't deserve to live, right?
Right.
But I will. That is definitely if there's ever a cruel punishment.
It'd be yeah. What would be more cruel? What would be unusual?
Well, unusual. Waterboarding's unusual.
Yeah.
Dripping water onto people is an unusual, but also there's things that happen in the court system here that are not even bad, but they're definitely unusual. They're applauded. Where a thing like some kid gets caught shoplifting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the judge goes, you have to wear a T-shirt and walk around Target that says "I'm a thief."
Yeah, that's unusual.
But that happens.
Yeah.
That's actual law that's passed down. Mm-hmm. You got to, like, we've all heard of those stories, right?
Of course, yeah.
It's an unusual punishment.
Yeah, people pick certain amendments to
They
champion.
And strangely enough, it's the same people who love the Bible and also cherry pick things in the Bible that they believe are true and things that they believe are untrue and all that type of stuff. And then because the gun people are always primarily the heavy Christian,
Yeah.
which that's fine if you're. But I'm just saying it seems to be a lot of the same group of people that cherry pick their laws that should be enforced.
Now, when you came up with the gun control bit, was it like one night you just kind of did a rough version of it and it was such a hit?
The gun control thing actually happened. It happened after Sandy Hook. I was on the set of Legit for season 1 when Sandy Hook happened. I was with John Ratzenberg. John Ratzenberg, who played, this is such a stupid name drop. John Ratzenberg, who played Cliff Clavin on Cheers.
Yeah.
And he was the dad in the show. Now, John is, and I adore John, but John is a staunch Republican, gun enthusiast, everything that, loves America.
Right.
That guy, right? So I was with him when Sandy Hook happened. And so then on set, me and John would argue about guns for about 3 weeks. We argued every day about guns. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it got to the stage where every single argument I gave became a bit of material, and then the routine was like 16 minutes long. It was just arguments with Cliff Clavin.
That's such a funny story.
Because also he sort of argues. They wrote the part of Cliff for him because he went in and auditioned for Norm.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, and there was no part of Cliff. And he just went to the audition, and as he was leaving, they were like, thank you, and he knew he failed. He goes, hey, Jeff, you got a bar know-it-all. And they said, what is a bar know-it-all? He goes, oh, well, the bar know-it-all was invented in 1843 by, and then they wrote that character just off that little meeting. And
That's hilarious.
That's amazing.
So he really is a lot like Cliff in real life.
Is he very similar?
He's gotten rid of...
But he's an overweight guy. Why would he read for Norm, or was Norm not written that way?
Well, Norm wasn't written that way. He
Okay,
was just the guy who hated his wife who stayed
Who stayed at the bar all day.
But John, these new light bulbs. this is like exact conversations. These new light bulbs with the filament in them. With the new ones, these energy saving bulbs. The light's not as good. He goes, I like the old one with the filament, not these new Obama bulbs. Right?
Obama balls.
Obama bulbs.
That's a real thing.
Obama bulbs. So what he does is every time he's in a different town doing Comic-Con, because he does all the voices for Pixar all the time, he goes and finds like the shittiest mum and pop fucking hardware store, and he's stockpiling
Light bulbs.
Are
he's
you
stockpiling
serious?
old school light bulbs. So
That's hilarious.
So he's just a quirky guy like Cliff.
he's just a quirky guy like that. He's very sweet.
He seems like
He's very sweet. He's always like he's always getting you a gift. I saw this in a shop and I was thinking of you and I bought this for you. He's a very nice man. But politically we're so far in opposite directions. But he's my crazy. He wrote me a tweet the other day that was like, I was at a gun show after I went to church raising money for Trump and I thought of you.
Oh my God.
All right, I should get going and say
well, I know. And Dom Irrera has just joined us, who is my next guest, but I'm so happy that you guys overlapped like this.
Well, it's good to see you, Jim, and it's great to be here with the, where you guys are keeping your finger on the pulse of what's happening today in TV with the Cheers. I wanted to talk a little bit about I Love Lucy, if you have some
That would
time.
be great.
Fred Mertz was a dear friend of mine.
It's funny. My girlfriend grew up in a very religious family. She grew up without television,
really.
Oh, my
wow.
God.
and so she didn't watch any TV. So even when she moved out of home at like 20, she didn't really have a want to watch TV because she never grew up watching it. And then she took up TV in her mid-20s. Now she's 40, but she started from the beginning.
Oh, she went back.
So she started. She's got all the box sets of I Love Lucy, and she's got all the Golden Girls.
So she's
wait.
like, what's
Hey,
she on now? The
Tom
90s?
was in 2 episodes of Golden Girls.
Hey,
just
I don't want to brag.
He played
That's what
Blanche.
fills up the clubs today.
B. Arthur's body double.
My favorite part is that you were in 2 episodes in 1 season playing 2 completely different people.
Look, George Clooney was in the Golden Girls.
He was on Facts of Life.
George Clooney played a cop in an episode. And if you watch the Golden Girls,
Yes!
there was an
Oh, yeah.
He got shot. His partner got shot. My
got
partner's
shot?
He had an older guy that liked B.
Yeah,
Arthur,
the older,
and
yeah.
he was the young kid, and he got
was the young
shot.
cop,
and the
yeah.
old cop runs in and goes, "My partner just got shot." I
could've
went,
been-
Rue McCallaghan, he hit on him a couple times. But I tell
Yeah.
you, the big one is there's an episode where fucking like 20 Elvis impersonators.
Tarantino's in that.
Tarantino.
Really?
No way.
Tarantino's one of the Elvis impersonators.
That's his best
That's
work,
so
I think.
funny.
I hear something weird looking back on the whole thing. I used to play basketball with George every day.
George Clooney.
Yeah, and one day we were at the Y, and this was not George. He goes, "Can I talk to you, man?" I go, "Oh, I'm thinking, well, never anything good. Can I talk to you? I just want to tell you you're wonderful." Phew, I'm glad I got that off my chest. He says, I said, "What's up?" He goes, "I quit Roseanne today." He goes, "What do you think?" I said, you got talent. I wouldn't worry about it. You did like 50 pilots. He goes, "I'll get something better, right?" I go, "Yeah, you'll get something better." Boy, did I never think it was going to be that much better.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Why did he
That's
quit
crazy.
Roseanne? Like, what was the reason?
He didn't say. He
Yeah.
he was tired
didn't
of
wanna
it.
do
and-
it.
Yeah. I think after that he got ER, and then the movies started.
Yeah.
Is it ER?
Yeah, ER was kind of his big.
Well, that was
break,
the
for
thing
sure.
is with ER because he'd been on Facts of Life forever.
Yeah.
Right? He was already a TV star, but it's fucking
He was on everything.
chicks like doctors, man.
Chicks like doctors.
It was.
McDreamy.
They had put him in the jail. Yeah, McDreamy was
Right?
fucking nobody, and then that
Yeah.
cunt doctored up.
Doctor shows.
Gotta
So
get,
many
gotta get me
people.
one of those doctor
You
shows.
got to. That's why you should just write yourself a doctor show. A funny doctor show.
So Dr. Ken, are you into it now?
Yeah.
I wish I
super
knew you were in
into it.
town, man. I have a show at the Laugh Factory tonight. Kate's on it. I'd love for you to be on it.
Well, I can't tonight, but I was meant to be tonight because I've already I'm fucking my kid's having a sleepover, and anyway. But tonight I was meant to be in fucking West Palm Beach to do the Oddball show.
Yeah, that's Joey.
yeah, what
Joey
happened?
Diaz is on the show.
They
because
canned us like
canceled.
2 days earlier,
Yeah.
and then we're
Oh.
like, all right, so I'll be getting all the money. Will
Yeah.
I?
I
That
talked-
sucks.
I talked to the guy from Miami, the lead disc jockey down there, and he
Right.
was telling me about it. But I knew because Joey wasn't supposed to be on the show, and now he's on it tonight because of that.
Yeah, well, I only got told it was cancelled like 2 days ago, but
Hardly ever happened.
I've had 2 of them cancelled now. I'm doing 4 of them all up, and I think the other ones are okay. But I was looking forward to going to Miami. It's just a nice
But what a
place.
shit idea,
fun.
though. No, they might have a hurricane in the next 24 hours. So
Really?
Really?
when I heard it was at an amphitheater, I'm thinking bad idea.
Yeah.
Is
It's
that
always
why
bad.
was the whole show canceled or?
Yeah.
No, the whole thing, they just didn't sell enough tickets.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, they
But
should have some kind of
I
insurance.
think they look at us like sometimes like, you guys didn't sell enough tickets. I'm like, I knew that Bill wouldn't sell that many tickets. You know what I mean?
Nuts.
Some of them you can tell by the bill. Some of you I'm good to sell 1,500 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? I'll sell 1,500 of them, but you need to sell 25,000. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then you have crossover. So without like this,
Right.
this one didn't have like a Dave Chappelle size guy on it. you know?
Right.
It had Fluffy. Gabriel Iglesias sells a lot of tickets, but it's
Yeah,
still
he
20
sells a lot.
But 25,000.
25,000's a lot of tickets.
A lot.
A
So let's
lot.
say Gabriel's good for another 4. So now we're up to, and then we had Sebastian, whatever. Say he's good for another 2 or something. So we're up to maybe 8, but we're not.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, I was in
Yeah.
Sydney last year, and I saw Jim Jefferies lines around the block, my friends.
I believe it.
I believe it.
I was so proud. I was felling, as the Italians say.
Well, I did my biggest gig ever in Australia, and it's weird because I couldn't sell a single ticket in Australia until 3 years ago.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Why? Why?
I did arenas, man. I couldn't get over it, and I've still never done any Australian television.
Wow.
I think what it is I think they just got the internet.
Nuh-uh. That's it. They just got it. Dude, I'm
They're
so
like, oh, that's fucking great, mate. We've been watching it on the television. Well, not the TV. There's a keyboard in front of it.
that's what it is. It's a
I
third
saw
world
you
country
right
over
after
there.
Cheers.
Oh my god.
Okay, so I did like in Perth, I did the Perth Arena, and halfway through this woman just stands up and she's like a speck and she just stands up and she just flashes her tits. Fun.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Nice move.
I know her.
And so I was on stage, the show was going okay, but I thought, oh, we can pad this out for a bit. And then I went, anyone else before we carry? I'm telling you, I got about 40 sets of tits in
No
there.
way.
They just started popping up everywhere. And it was just like, it was like the I Am Spartacus scene, right?
Shut
Oh,
up.
there's tits. Everyone's losing their fucking mind. And I'm like, I think I've lost control of this whole 10,000 people, tits. And then there was a girl that was, I walked out into the crowd. So I'm in the middle, so the whole auditorium's lit up and there's tits. And then this really hot chick in like the second row, the best looking set of them all, she stands up. She whips out the tits, right? Because she's like, there's already been 40 sets before. She's like, all right, if we're all doing it,
Right.
Right.
Because if there was 40 cocks pulled out, I'd pull out my little dick
Right.
and fucking wave her around. Like if it's already a precedent being
Sure,
set, right?
yeah.
So would Dom.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey.
And so,
little
she
bit tasty.
she whips out her fucking perfect tits, stunning looking girl, and the boyfriend grabs her
No.
and whips her back down to her chair.
my God.
And then the fun stopped for everyone.
He
It
was
was
the
like
cock blocker for the entire
like we all know she was
Damn.
gonna go home and get slapped around a little bit, like it was that
shit.
type of, and we were like, well,
Oh, that was sad. Everyone's like,
awesome.
oh.
Should try that at the Laugh Factory tonight, Dom. Just ask the audience to everyone to whip their tits
Oh,
out.
I
and
thought
see
you
what
meant for me to
happens.
take off my shirt.
Yeah.
Well, that also.
I'm gonna pull
please.
my pants down at the laugh.
That'd be fantastic.
that's the
be
problem with
great.
camera phones, man. I used to get my dick out on a regular basis. In my early
Everywhere? Just
in my
randomly?
early 20s, yeah, pretty much with everywhere. In my early 20s, when I was drunk all the time, that was me go-to move on stage to be outrageous. When I was like 23 year old, I'd whip me dick out. It would get a big like outrage. But now you with camera phones, I can't get me dick out.
You
No.
can't. It is a problem. I couldn't even go to a topless pool in Vegas because I was so afraid someone would like take photos and then someone in the background would be like, "Is that Kate?" And I just don't want it. I'm afraid. I'm totally.
I had a guy take a photo of me getting a lap dance about 3 years ago and put it on the, and I, obviously I didn't look my best. I was like, with tits in my face.
Oh, you're kidding.
And it's like, I was in a private room getting a fucking lap dance. Like,
How does someone even get a photo of
Yeah,
you?
you're
'cause
drunk. It's embarrassing.
They're holding their phone
Yeah,
like that. And
That's why I could never strip. I've always wanted to go and
that's
try it.
why.
That is why. That is because I've always wanted to just try it once. I've always wanted to do it, but I'm so afraid that someone will sneak a photo and that one.
Of course they're going to sneak a photo.
I know. That's why I've never done it.
But you have a beautiful body. What's to be ashamed of?
But I just don't want. That's the only thing that I have private is like my body. I mean, not.
Hardly.
Not really.
I've followed you on
Tom.
Twitter. The only thing you've got left is your nipples.
That's not true. And vagina.
and your vagina area.
I've never been naked. There's a difference between.
Yeah, but I can picture it. I know what it would look like.
Really, you think?
I think I know what
I
you would
don't
look like
think.
naked.
You look great this weekend in that
Thank
bathing
you,
suit.
Dom. I did the bathing suit thing for Dom. We'll talk about it on your episode. I'm not going to hold Jim over.
All right, I got to get out. I'm holding up other people's episodes.
I'm so glad you were here. And
it was just nice to get out of the house.
We're live?
Yeah, we're live.
Where did we bump into each other?
At the airport.
Yeah, but what country?
Sydney.
Sydney, okay, it was Australia. I didn't know whether
He was
Australia.
wondering. He said he bumped into you in an
He couldn't
exotic
remember.
country.
Yeah,
An exotic country. I bumped into him in an exotic country.
You did.
Sydney's the town I was born
I
in.
know. It's like super exotic.
That's where I'm from. Oh, it's so exotic.
Wait,
My grandparents live there.
The one thing I have to ask you before you leave, because I didn't make
Actually,
you
they're
tell
dead.
it, is can you remember your worst date fail or worst sex story before you go?
I had one time when I was. This is very hard for me to remember actually, and it's not super funny, but I'm just saying
Doesn't matter.
the worst sex story. One time when I was about 20, I shagged like an 18-year-old while I was living in Sydney, and she was kind of rich, and her father owned a few houses that he was trying to sell around town. And so she got a key, and we went and shagged, because I was still living with my parents as well.
Yeah.
We went and shagged in like just an abandoned house that she owns. Anyway, and then that was on the Saturday, and then on the Sunday, he fucking brings people over to buy the house, and I'm literally walking down the hallway naked.
No.
And then he just fucking freaked out. I said, no, I know your daughter, which doesn't help.
Oh my God.
Right? And then he starts yelling at her, and she's like, fuck, Dad, fuck. And I'm just trying to put my pants on and
Oh,
everything
my
like
God.
that. And then this is like, that's almost bad enough of a story. Like I told you, I haven't worked it out as like a stage story. But the worst thing was he was yelling at her, and then I had a car that I'd purchased for about $400. And I fucking, Emmanuel, and I got out. She ran out, she got in the car, and she goes, just drive. And the dad's still yelling at her, and he comes out, and then my fucking car didn't start.
Oh, shit.
No.
That sounds like such a movie scene.
Yeah, it's like
It really does.
Did
Did those people?
So I had to call the equivalent of AAA.
Oh God.
That's why this guy knows I fucked it. Like, this is before mobile phones. I'm like, do you have a phone?
Oh shit. Did they buy the house? That's my.
I don't know. Those people just stated.
Yeah, you just go back and ask you the phone.
I had to go
You remember-
back
pretty
in.
good.
You remember seeing me at a Mel's Diner?
I remember. Yeah, you can tell that story if you want.
No, it just was funny. I mean, what I remember was you're walking with this incredibly hot girl,
I was very drunk.
and
man.
you went to me, she's 18, what can I say? I go, congratulations.
Yeah, I met her at a comedy club. I think I was lucky myself. I go, she's 18. I don't know what to do, Dom. And then he was like, well, congratulations.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh.
What's the problem? Dom still
She-
gets hit on by 18-year-olds. We're in Vegas, and these like cute little 18-year-olds are flirting with Dom, and he's flirting right back.
Dom, you
Yeah.
dog.
Which ones?
That one hostess at the restaurant at the steakhouse. That cute little 18-year-old that said she interned here for the summer at some hotel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
She was
she's
cute.
totally flirting with you. I know.
I didn't pick that up.
You didn't?
I love that when a girl, you leave a room with a girl and they go, oh, that girl likes you, didn't she? And you're like, I had no idea.
Really?
Yeah, I can't tell.
That sucks. You're like, what? She was flirting. Yeah, she kept touching you and laughing at your
If a
jokes.
girl
You're like,
touches
what?
you once during the conversation, she's attracted to
Kate
you.
hasn't touched me once.
That's
This whole
not
interview, the whole interview.
true.
She's been talking. She's been so excited to meet you. She's been talking about you all week.
Oh yeah.
Ah,
Oh,
She
yeah.
was so nervous
It's true.
today. She's
super
look at all this-
nervous.
She was so
I
nervous.
told Erik that.
She changed her outfit like 6 times. She's talking about how cute you were.
Yeah, you
all
can
the
tell
time.
I changed.
She didn't
6
tell me I was
times.
handsome. She said I was one of the handsome ones. In
You
comedy.
are handsome. He
Then she
doesn't
said
think
Dane
he's
Cook
hot.
was handsome.
No.
Dane is handsome. I
No,
just said his
she was so
personality
excited to
brings
meet
out-
you.
All right.
She was so excited to meet you.
Well,
I
on,
promise.
on that note,
We met before.
Wait, you're going to
before.
ask me if I think
not
Jim
to-
is hot?
do you think
No,
Jim
do
is
you-
hot,
do you-
Dom?
I can't.
Are you attracted to
You
him?
always did.
Give me your top 10 male comics, best looking male
Jim
comics.
thinks there's more good-looking female
There are
comics
more
than
good looking
men.
female comics than there are male comics.
Name 10
Well, first
hot.
of all, there are
Rachel
many more.
Feinstein, you,
Thank you.
that bird who hangs out with you with the
Je-
brown hair.
Jessie Mae Peluso.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd bang her.
The Beth Stelling.
Beth,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Eliza.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Schlessinger's in
You're
there.
right. There's
Yeah,
a, yeah.
there's a fucking April Macy,
Yeah. Okay.
Whitney Cummings.
You're right.
They're all good looking.
You're right. But maybe
Sarah Silverman?
Maybe,
Sarah Silverman
maybe that's
is
what- maybe
the
they-
best-looking 44-year-old woman on the
she's
planet.
gorgeous.
She's fucking nailing it.
I think that the hot female comics just stand out in your mind.
No. No. No.
It's just like when guys come up to me and go, all you post on your Twitter is naked photos. And I'm like, if you look through my Instagram and Twitter, there's at least 9 not hot photos for every 1 hot photo. But the guys only remember the hot photos. It's all you remember. I know.
I see a lot, and there's a lot of female comics who do the promo shot where they're nude.
Yeah, I don't do that for comedy shows. I keep it separate. I do that for my Playboy show.
Yeah.
Were you nude in Playboy?
No, but I mean, like, sometimes I'll
They
post.
don't even do nudes anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. No, I was never naked.
A friend of mine is dating the last nude
Naked?
playmate.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
The last
end of an era.
The last
Like a dinosaur.
and like she's the very last one.
Nice.
So whenever like, and I know her quite well because this is a guy that I know very well.
Yeah.
So I go to dinner with him and stuff like that, and I write with this guy. So I go to his apartment. She's laying around. Anyway, whenever I say I'm at a party or something, I go, "Oh, my friend's coming. He's bringing the last ever playmate." Men get so excited by that. Like if you just said a playmate, but the last one.
The
it's
last of the
Last
it's
playmates.
like, we'll never see one again.
That's so
I
funny.
can tell my grandkids about this.
Yeah.
Well, that's every guy's. I mean, when you're a teenager, that's like.
Well, I've
so
become strangely enough, I've become friends with the guy who shot Bin Laden, right?
What?
The guy who shot Bin Laden,
Him and Cliff Clavin.
Shot
The
him?
guy who
the guy who
died-
actually killed him?
the guy who actually killed him.
Fuck, man.
Who is? It's not a big secret.
How does that
He's a guy
happen?
called Rob O'Neill. If you like, right. So he was doing some photos for some like GQ magazine or something like that, and the photographer did some photos for me, and then they said, he goes, "Oh, what bands you like? What comedy?" He goes, "I like Jim Jefferies," and then he goes, "I can introduce you to him," and so he comes over to my house. And I thought it was all really secretive. I'm like, all right, okay. The guy who shot Bin Laden's coming over. Right? And so I made up a party. Like, so I got like a few of my friends, and Reese Darby, was there,
Yeah.
and Forrest was there, and you
Yeah.
can ask Forrest about this story, right?
Okay.
And so I got a whole heap of people over and acted like I was already having a party. But
Wait, why did you feel like you had to make up a party to have
because
them over?
it's just I didn't want to have one-on-one. I wanted to act like, oh, we're having a barbecue. You can come over if you like.
Because it might be weird. I don't know.
Yeah. I was just like, I'm already got a thing on. Come over.
Yeah.
Right.
So the guys, so a few Navy SEALs come over, and Rob's girlfriend is stunning because when you shoot Bin Laden, you can get your dick sucked. Really easy.
Apparently.
She's stunning. Anyway, so I said to everyone at the party, I said, all right, the guy who shot Bin Laden's coming over. We're not allowed to talk about it. I just assume this. I'm like, we're not allowed to talk about it. It's all very secretive. So don't say that you know anything. But the guy who shot Bin Laden's coming over. Like this. So he came over. It was very obvious who it was as soon as he walked in. And we're like, hey, Rob, hey. And everyone's like trying to act cool around him because
Right.
it's kind of exciting.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
And then I just pulled him aside like this, and I went, "Hey, I've been told who you are. Don't worry, I won't say anything, but just know that I know who you are."
I won't
And-
blow your cover.
And he went like this. What, that I shot Bin Laden? And then he wouldn't shut up about it. He loves talking about
But
it.
of course
Of
he
course.
does.
I would tell
loves
everybody.
talking
How do
about
you
it.
think he got that girl? He's probably so proud. That'd be the first thing I would open with in every
He's a fucking
conversation.
American hero.
Yeah, I got really drunk and I was telling this story. He was telling his story. He goes, then we go up the stairs and then we're thing. And then my partner comes in. He pushes two of the wives away because he pulls the wives away. He goes, then I saw the white of his eyes. And everyone's like, and I've heard it, at this stage, I'd heard the story in 3 different bits of the house, right?
Yeah.
So I was already like, this story. And then he goes,
Not the Bin Laden story again.
Like this.
Fuck.
And Reese Darby's wife, and Reese is the guy who plays Mario, Father Conquest, and they're super New Zealand, like the most thick New Zealand accent you'll ever hear, right?
Yeah.
And so he goes, and I looked in the eyes, and then she went, and what did you say? And he goes, I wish I said something cool, but I just shot his head off, to be honest. I wish I said something cool.
Hasta la vista.
And then he like, if I had my time over again, I would have said Yahtzee, right?
Yeah.
That's like a
Yahtzee.
thing. It's like a thing with the Navy SEALs, Yahtzee, right?
Yeah.
That's a
Oh.
thing they say, right?
I don't know.
And I went like this. I went, that's stupid. And I remember everyone looked at me at the party like, oh, shut up, Jim, you're getting drunk. And I go, that's a stupid thing to say.
What would you say?
And that's what they said to me. They go, what would you say? I go, I would have said, Where have you been, Laden?
Oh my
Like, after all that
God.
sex, if you could have gone, where have you been, Laden? That's like a killer line.
Please turn this into a bit. That's fucking hilarious.
Well, see, this is the thing. So Rob, I've hung out with him again since. He's come. I'm doing Vegas in Thanksgiving, and he's coming to see me. I'm hanging out with him, and he's a fun guy.
Yeah.
I believe it.
He's a fucking
He sounds fun.
He's a fun guy who can
would think
fucking
the guy
break
who
your neck
shot
with his fingers. You
Bin
know?
Laden is fun to party with. That is kind of hot, though. There's something really hot about a guy who can just kill someone with their bare hands. Like Dom. That's why Dom and I are so close.
He's a ginger. Is that a problem?
No.
You'd still have a go. You'd still have a go.
Dom, have you ever killed anybody?
Yeah.
Only on stage.
Oh!
Hey!
Have you seen my show?
Dom, have you ever been with a playmate?
Look, of course.
No, in a Penthouse Pet.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We got to talk about
You ever
this.
been with one of those for free?
No.
I've never been with one for free, but I've been with a penthouse.
Oh my God. All right, listen, I have to close down this episode. He's kind of hot. All right, we're going to talk about this. Jim Jefferies, you've been fabulous.
Thank
I'm
you.
so happy you came. Thanks. Anything you want to plug?
The Unusual Punishment Tour and watch Freedom on Netflix.
Yeah, Freedom. So fucking good. Follow Jim at Jim Jefferies. Follow Erik at Erik Myers Comedy. And we're just going to stop down for a quick sec and be back with Dom Irrera. Woo! Bye, everybody.